What's up, everybody? Long time no see. Been up to some things, not really too much, but I got some stuff going on, so I'm kind of busy. I'm gonna be moving soon, so gotta get packing up stuff and everything like that. Um, Today I wanted to talk about Predator Badlands and my thoughts on the movie. I don't think, well, there'll be spoilers if I feel the need to say something that happened in the movie. So just gonna give a good spoiler warning. I'm not gonna not say anything, but I didn't write a script for this or anything, so I don't really know what I'm about to say. Um, that being said, I did like the movie. I actually thought it was very good. So I like the Predator series, and to me, this was a very good Predator movie. So recently, I watched Killer of Killers. I don't remember if I did a review for that. I think I did. I know I recorded one. I don't know if I posted it, but I'll see it in a few minutes when I'm done recording this. But I like that. I love the Predator lore, the Predator universe. Of course, we know it's connected with the Alien universe, not just because of the Alien versus Predator movies. I know those were a lot of people didn't like those, but I liked them just because it was a combination of my two of my favorite characters in fiction or species in fiction that I always like to see in any opportunity I get to see them. It's like Dragon Ball Z. I watch anything with the Saiyans in it. You know, I like the X-Men. I like, you know, but you like something, you want to watch it. You know. Um, so being said, is there already is basis because bias, but I guess because I definitely wanted to see some Yautja in action. There are gonna be people who's critical. You know, oh, this guy's he's not like a Yautja. He's not. Some people are gonna say, oh, they're changing the predators. Predators were never like this. He's a predator that's not like any of the other ones. And also, if you read the extended lore or looked into the extended lore of the comics, I know in the movies he said predators hunt alone. Predators send raiding parties all the time. Predators have to get blooded alone. That on their first hunt, when they become a blooded Yautja, they Yautjas. I keep saying predator, but they are called Yautjas. But in the movie, the humans see them just as predators. But so, although they put that in the Yautja Codex, there has been in the movie there have been many examples throughout the lore of the Predator universe in which Yautja hunt and raiding parties. They go to war against different clans. They're pretty much only alone when they get blooded. And I've seen when they have gone on a group hunt where they were expected to all get blooded. They're all expected to kill a xenomorph in order to get blooded. Okay, so we also saw in the comics that it is the xenomorph that they hunt. Mostly that came from the Alien versus Predator stuff, but also in the later comics, xenomorph is the the ultimate prey for them. That's what they usually have to kill to prove that they're skilled Yautja. Um, in this movie, there is no xenomorphs, although we know that the two species will be in some form of media together again soon. They're Wayland Yutani is in both. They're in, Alien Earth. They're in the entire Alien series, and now they're in the Predator universe. They're in the Predator Badlands. They have the Wayland Yutani sense. So, um, I don't have a issue with him working together with the synth because he isn't like the other predators. He's a runt. It's that simple. And although his brother wasn't like the other predators, that doesn't mean to me, oh, they're ruining the predator lore, they're making them too soft. It's two out of all of them that are like that. So it's not a big deal to me. His father still has the personality of a regular Yautja. His The rest of his clan did, and clearly when his mom was coming, he was afraid of her when he saw her at the end. Like I said, spoiler alert, I didn't know I was going to talk about that, but I am now. And that's why I gave an alert in the very beginning. When his mom showed up, he was clearly afraid of her. So she's just like a normal female Yautja. So it's not really a big issue to me that he is reluctantly willing to work with this synth, and what we find out is a baby Calic. First of all, he justifies working with the synth as in it's not a living thing, so to him it's just a tool. It's just a weapon that can speak. So that's how he justifies working with it. And then the Calic, he only really like it works with him. It saves him, you know, and then it stays around. He gives it some food because he wanted to give it to the synth. The synth didn't want it. She like gets him to give the thing some food. The thing considers him a part of his clan. He leaves it, and then it's only after, once he realized that when the Calic marked it, that's the only reason that the mother didn't kill him. Then that's the that's when he works together with it because it saved his life. Also, I don't feel that his brother. I feel like it's people that feel like, oh, they're soft, they're not really Yautja, they're not understanding the thought process that's going through his brother's head. So people are saying his brother should have killed him because he was weak, and that's what Yautja would do. They should have. He's like his dad said, you got to call the weak. The issue is that Deck saved Kawhi when they were younger. Deck saved Kawhi's life. So Kawhi is sacrificing his life not because he thinks, oh, weakness should prevail in the clan, but he's saying, technically, he's stronger than me because he saved my life. So I should be the one who's dead already. And then Deck would have been, eating more, and he wouldn't have been in the run no more. But because his older brother was bigger, boom, he's clearly, gonna get more food, more everything from his parents, and thus continue to be the bigger, stronger one. So to me, I have no issue with that because he literally just saved his brother who saved him. So he's returning the favor, not really letting someone who's weak survive. Although, yes, Deck is weak, he was strong enough to save his life. So he's the one who deserves to live, because Kawhi wouldn't be alive if Deck hadn't done that and lost his tux in saving him. So there's that. So the whole issue, yes, it's PG-13. The rest of the movies were rated R, so people could say, oh, they dumbed down the violence. I don't think they dumbed down the violence. It just was no humans. That's the reason it was able to get a PG-13 rating. Like, yeah, there was more cursing and stuff like that, and the R-rated ones. But like I said, I'm just happy that I got to see a Yautja. He's fighting things. He's cutting things in half, beheading things. There's a lot of blood, but it's not red blood. That's how they were able to give it a PG-13 rating. I have no issue with that. If it was red blood, would that have made the movie significantly better for me? No. If there were actual human beings, would that have made the movie better for me? Definitely not. And that is the reason, that is the issue I was beginning to have with the Predator universe and Predator Killer of Killers. We saw 3 human beings, 3 different time periods, all defeat Yautja. Now, yes, the Yautja did kill their whole clans and kill everyone, but that's too much. These are the ultimate predators in the universe. They hunt down everything. They hunt down xenomorphs. They hunt down everything on every planet and kill anything that's bad, that is tough and hard to kill, and anything that is also a killer. Human beings should not be able to beat the predator. I don't care about no power, no human ingenuity, no this or that. None of that shit is gonna work in reality. And I understand, like, oh, it's not reality. It's a movie. Then give these motherfuckers superpower. If you want to say, then fine. If it's like I said, if a synth kills a Yautja, fine. Or you want to have people with superpowers, but there's no people with superpowers. And do I want people in this superpowers in this universe? No. So I don't want there to be people capable of beating Yautja. If you want to say Dutch, you know, he could have been. Then he should have been the only one for like 5 movies to defeat a predator. You know, fine, Dutch, but it should be 1 in a billion humans could beat a predator. It's 7 feet tall, super strong, super fast, intelligent, with thousands of years of combat experience. Not each one of them, but that's passed down through generations. The knowledge of combat experience, thousands of years of combat experience going against the most dangerous things in the universe. And here comes a regular guy defeating this alien that's over 7 feet tall. These things are as tall as Wembenyama. You see how much he's dominating the NBA. None of these other guys who are giant compared to those people 6 foot died. They can't do 7 feet tall. They can't do anything against them. Yet these guys are the size of Wembenyama with the strength far exceeding human beings. Agility and speed far exceeding human beings. No human being supposed to be able to beat them. Once every 5 movies, a human being should beat a predator, not 3 in the same series, just back to back to back. Like any above average human being could beat a predator. No, that's bullshit. And I was starting to get really pissed. Like I was like, I don't want to see another human beat a predator for a decade. For a decade, I don't want to see it happen. Plain and simple. It would be like just the average human. Anytime a human being came in contact with an X-Men character, they just winning. Like no, they're not gonna win. In any like they're not winning. So if you want to say like, or maybe 1 in a billion is too much, but in a in a nine in a 9 movie series, humans should not have been successful against predators in more than 3 of the movies. That's how I feel about it. Now, and I think they caught on to that because you saw in the post credit scene for Killer of Killers, like it came out. It was on I don't remember if it was on Netflix or Hulu, whatever it was on. It came out. They did the whole thing, and then after it was released, like a week later, post credit scene where it showed that the predators had captured those 3 human beings. They captured Dutch and everybody else that ever succeeded against them in a Predator movie. That literally for me saved the series because it was gonna be like, yo, if these 3 humans won and all of these humans won, there's no point in me seeing this because Predators ain't as badass as they claiming. Any fucking guy that's an above average pilot, an above average samurai, an above average Viking, they could all just whoop Predators' asses. No, no. The best of the best of the best human beings should only be able to beat like W tier Yautja. Like if the tiers went down to W, the whole alphabet, maybe Z tier. Like they should only be able to beat the weakest of the weakest and dumbest and least skilled Yautja. No other Yautja besides the weakest of the weakest should ever be losing to human beings. But you know, in movies, oh, the humans gotta win, the good guys gotta win, and the humans are the good guys, so they gotta win. How about making it? That's the good thing about horror movies when nobody escapes or when Jason wins or Freddy wins. It's not like a trope. And I'm so tired of seeing movies where you already know, like, no matter what, these guys are gonna win. That's what made What was it? Infinity War. So good to me. I know people are tired of Marvel and blah blah blah, but Infinity War, they lose in the end. Watchmen, they lose in the end. That's why, and so it's like, oh, you just want to see the heroes lose. No, but I don't want the outcome of every single thing I watch to be 100% predictable. There's no point of even watching. Just watch the beginning and see what the characters is, and then okay, these guys are gonna win by. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that in a every series. You can say, oh, in cop shows, the good guys always win. The cops always get that guy, whatever. But even the best episodes, it's like, oh, somebody gets away for a while, and it takes this like a 4 episode arc where they gets away at first, but then they get him, and you're surprised and you go, oh my god, they didn't get him by the end of the episode. But every other episode, it's like, all right, we know they're gonna get this guy by the end of the episode. So what does it even matter? Like you're watching just to watch. Like that's not what. Like when I first watched the first Predator, there was no idea how they were gonna win. Maybe they weren't gonna win. Maybe it was gonna be like a horror movie where everybody dies. Blah blah blah. That suspense and that not knowing, and okay, just one character survives at the end. Sometimes no character should survive at the end, and that's why I didn't want there to be humans, because then you know the humans would have to survive at the end, and the predators gotta die. Now we see we're a predator. Now look, even in that, we didn't see the predators go back and get Dutch. Like they don't want us to see. No, I want to see them whoop Dutch's ass. Okay, I want to see them whoop every character that I want to see every character that beat a Yautja. They're like, okay, that guy wasn't blooded. He went against a human to get blooded, and he failed. He did not succeed in becoming a blooded Yautja because he got beat by this human. But now we got to go back and and whoop these humans' asses and capture them because they were one of the very few warriors who've ever beaten a Yautja of any race, of any species. Now we see if you beat a Yautja, then they send a better Yautja who's gonna catch you and they're gonna freeze you and either do experiments to figure out how you were good at combat or how you were able to beat them, learn from your tactics, or just use you to unfreeze you periodically throughout gladiator games until one Yautja eventually defeats you. And that's how it should be. Honestly. That is how it should be, in my opinion. Now back to what what actually happened. Like I said, I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but he's not, like I said, he's not your traditional Yautja. He's a run, and that reminded me of this thing I watched a few months ago. It was about hyenas, and this was a big pack of hyenas. And as you know, hyenas usually scavenge more than they hunt. But this pack of hyenas, they were so big, like in general, like the number of the members, like, you know, there was like 60 of them, but also they were big, like big hyenas, and they were good at hunting. Now, once food got scarce in the area, like it was like a little bit of drought and prey animals left, you know, the queen of the hyena pack, if you don't know hyenas, they're a matriarchal society. Um, and the females are usually bigger than the males, and they have fake penises, and they like dominate the males. It's a whole thing, but whatever. So she has a litter, and there's a runt in it, and he gets bullied. He's the smallest, he's the weakest. He gets bullied by all the other hyenas in the pack, even the other runts. They bully him so that they don't get treated like runts anymore. So he's the only one that's not allowed to eat, and he goes out. And now these hyenas, like they were hunting for so many generations, they didn't really scavenge any, much more, you know. But once the prey got, the numbers decreased, they couldn't catch them because only the strongest ones were still around now. The strongest and the fastest prey. They were so good at hunting because the prey was abundant, which means it's going to be more weak, and the more there are of a population, the more there are of every part of that population. So there's more slow ones, there's more weak ones, as well as more strong ones and fast ones, but there's more slow ones and weak ones from the catch. Hyenas aren't that good those good hunters, but now Once all the slow ones and weak ones were gone, they couldn't catch these ones, and they were starting to starve, and they was going. But him, he was the littlest one, and he went and stole some food from some cheetahs, blah blah blah, and then the narrator's like, this I forgot what his name was, but the little runt, they like he's the hyena that remembers what hyenas do most. What hyenas do best is that they're scavengers. They steal food from other animals. And so he thought to himself, instead of trying to steal food from lions and getting killed, I'm going back to my pack because they had exiled them. They're like, oh, food's scarce and you weak anyway. Get out of here, just like they did to this runt in the Predator movie. And he goes back to his own pack and he starts robbing them for food. And they chasing him, but since he's the smallest, he's got the most stamina and the most speed. They're bigger and heavier. They can't catch him, so he just starts robbing them for food every day. And eventually, they start realizing, they remember, like, yo, this is what we're hyenas. We should be stealing food like him instead of going hungry because we can't catch it no more. And he literally became the best. He became like the top male in the pack. He became accepted by the pack, but then they started to like him even more. I don't know if he actually became like the top male, but it doesn't even matter because at the top is females anyway in hyena society. But is the because he reminded them they're supposed to steal food, and then they learned to steal food from him. He became the leader because he was the best at what a hyena is supposed to be, which is a scavenger. The hyenas aren't hunters. They do hunt, but primarily they're scavengers. They steal food. That's why they're not really built for the speed necessary to hunt down most animals. So it reminded me that when there is a runt in a society, it usually comes around at a time where it's needed, you know, or where it will be beneficial possibly. There was other runts, and they didn't. Not saying that he was needed, but at that time it was the perfect time for there to be a runt because they forgot how to steal because they were so big and strong they didn't need to steal no more until they did. And then then he reminded them what a hyena is, you know. And I'm not saying clearly this runt deck, he's not what a Yautja is. Like, I mean, he's a great fighter and he's determined and he never quits, he never yields. So he's got that in him. But he doesn't have the size, the strength of a regular Yautja. And he has more compassion, which equals weakness. But that allowed him to survive on a planet where no other Yautja survives because without a team, you couldn't survive on that planet. Without learning, now a regular Yautja could have went there and learned about those things and tried to make those traps and everything, blah, 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 but nobody else did. Nobody, he's the only one to make it from that planet. Just like that skinny little runt hyena was the only one that were surviving at that time when the food got low, because he's the one who was like, I'm gonna go steal like a hyena's supposed to. It's it's literally just a realistic depiction of like a runt can't survive the way a big guy can. A big guy can't survive the way a little guy can. Like each body type is conducive to a specific environment. His personality of working together, if he didn't work with the baby Calic and he didn't work with the synth, he would have died. Like every other Yautja. If his dad went there, his dad would have died. Everybody else in his clan would have died. Every other Yautja that ever went there, the baddest of the bad, they all died. Because on that planet, a Yautja, no matter how bad he is, he's not bad enough to deal with the shit that they got there alone. You need a team, and to get blooded, like I said, they don't bring a team to get blooded in most cases. I think there was a, a comic where they did. Well, no, they went with a team to get blooded, but they still had to go out on alone. It was just the ship had a bunch of them that went to get blooded, but still, without working together, you're not taking out the stuff on that planet. Like the Calic, it can regenerate. Now, none of them lived long enough to go back to tell them. Maybe they would have. They had the ice weapons that they could have froze it and killed it, but none of them ever did. Maybe it got to them before, or maybe they didn't live long enough to know that it regenerated, so they would need the ice weapons. So, in terms of that, like, hopefully I didn't spoil it too much. But I think, to me, it's exactly what I wanted to see. A Predator movie focused on predators. Well, not exactly what I wanted to see, because I wanted to see them slaughtering human beings. And I wanted not one human being to survive, not just some action hero. I don't want to see Vin Diesel beating a Yautja. I don't want to see The Rock beating a Yautja. I want to see them ripping the strongest human beings in two, because they are way stronger, faster, more combat trained than human beings. Nobody should be beaten. Like I said, like maybe one out of every 1,000 years, a human being beats a Yautja. Okay. And that Killer of Killers were supposed to be set in many different time periods. So we're supposed to say, we didn't know to the end that the Yautja went back and got him anyway. That literally saved the whole series for me. I was about to be like, yo, if I see one more Yautja lose to a fucking human being, a slightly above average human being, I'm not watching this shit ever again. So, literally saved the Predator series, in my opinion. And that's my review for Predator Badlands. As a score, I don't know, maybe an 8. It wasn't a 10. Not that I really had issues with it. There was a time where they tried to make a joke. I didn't even realize they were trying to make a joke with it, and it was whatever. He tried to make a joke. Oh, y'all just don't make jokes. Nobody, everybody's not the same. There's no society where everybody's the same. That's like me just being like, Italians don't do this. Black people don't do that. I hate when I hear people say, oh, black people don't do this, or black people do this. It's like, everybody's not the same. Every human being is an individual, every member of a group. And even if 99% of a group act a certain way, there's no group where 100% of the members act that same way. Not even Yautja, you know what I mean? Not even Saiyans. Like there was, Bardock wasn't like the rest of them. Bardock didn't ruin Saiyans. Like, there were still evil ones, there's good ones. I wish we just had more Dragon Ball Z shit about evil Saiyans, you know? And I wish they showed the old wars and stuff like that they went through. That's what they should be doing. Instead of just doing the future, oh, Goku's older and blah, show us the past. Show us just Saiyans just slaughtering people. There could be some people that put up good fights, but in the end, they lose. So that's how it should be. Like I said, I'm going off a tangent again. It's about to be 30 minutes, so I wanted to keep it under 30. So I'll have some more videos up soon. Not really about whatever I feel like putting a video up. So we'll see. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whatever time it is when you're watching this. Have a good life, you know. And never give up on your dreams, and never give up on your life. Never give up on yourself. And once again, I lost my chapstick. Just had it the other day. Like, man, people probably watching this shit like, damn, bro, you ain't got a chapstick. It don't last more than a day. I lose that shit all the time. But all right, hopefully in the next video I'll have some chapstick. But until then, I'll see you guys. Have a good night or day or whatever, like I said already.